We are back. Majestic Criterium 2021, Ontario, California, Southern California. This was the 35 plus, 40 plus, 1, 2, 3 combined, scored separate. Yesterday, Sunday, down in Southern California. Man, what a fun race. Some of the guys that we saw come out to our Velo Kings Chowchilla Criterium, and a lot more SoCal guys that probably their first race of the season. But started the GoPro here, I think, on the second lap. I thought this was a premium. I might have got $20, but Alfie Sanchez put on the event. Alfie, if you see this video, keep the 20, man. You deserve it. What an awesome time to come together and race bikes. Return to racing. I met Alfie. He came up and visited us up at Chowchilla. Was it last week? It was just a week ago. Anyway, time flies. That was a fun one. Doing another one on May 1st, same format. Legion is talked about coming up, and hopefully we'll have Mike's bikes again. So I raced this race. I also raced the P12. I'll share some footage from that race as well. But yeah, this is my first race running front and rear cameras. I threw some power overlay on here and come to the realization that rendering video on this laptop is like trying to mow a golf course with cuticle scissors. It freaking sucks. So I think I'm going to level up on computers because I don't have a lot of patience. I think I tried uploading this 2 or 3 times, and it's like the Millennium Falcon that this thing's running on. So anyway, hope you guys like this. Appreciate all the new subscribers to the channel. It's awesome. Thanks for the comments, and hope you guys like this video. We have Richard Gable, George Shortis, and Jorge Vargas, along with myself, racing for the Velo Kings team here in this race. This course was super fun. Not too technical, but not just a 4-corner crit. I think it had 7 or 8 turns, kind of a downhill, long front straightaway. But it was into a headwind, so it kind of didn't make it feel like it was downhill, but you definitely could carry some speed. Kind of narrowed at the start finish line. I'll kind of call that out when we come around next lap. But see if I can call out some of these riders for you guys too. That might be Byron in front of Byron Davis. Hit squad, I'm not positive. I'll look at the rear cam, see what their faces look like. So this is that long front straightaway. And then it kind of narrows into a finishing arch. Just when you think it's done narrowing, it kind of has a little pinch point right as you're coming through the arch, which is a little dicey with a big field. I think we got 112 in the P12. I think this race combined 60 guys, maybe, something like that. Results are on ontheday.net. This is George Shortis. He's waving at me saying, "Get off the front, jackass." We talked about this before the race. George was going to try to cover moves for the first half of the race till his fitness kind of started wearing thin, and then I was going to kind of move up. If I could get a breakaway, awesome. If not, we were going to try to keep it together for Richard to sprint. But I was already doing too much work with George's days, so that was him waving me off, kind of sitting on the front. So I kind of fade back a little bit here. This is between, I think, turn 2 and turn 3. This is kind of a longer section here. This is a good spot to move up, actually, between turn 1 and turn 2 here. But everyone's taking pretty clean lines. We had one mishap later in the race. I'll call it out. One of my teammates, he went down. Someone flattened in front of him, crossed wheels with someone else, and a bunch of guys kind of tumbled. He rung his bell pretty good. It was with 2 laps to go. But other than that, I don't think there was any carnage in this race, which is always nice. So This was a bit of a headwind here. I think that's Kyle on the front there. There might be a little gap, some guys up the road a little bit. Um, Kyle Cooper, I think team 6. I'll try to pull up the results and call some of these guys out. Give you a little better quality commentating. And these purple guys here in front of me, and they rode well. And there's a lot of them. So I think that was Go Fast in Cycles, that purple with the black bibs. Actually crashed right there in the P1 too. Someone went down in front of me. I was able to get back to the wheel pit, reinsert myself. It was pretty early in the race, but so there's like 2 turns to go right here. So this is you can see this thing of breaking 3 up the road here. Now maybe this is the one, right? The one that worked. Definitely kind of launch off the front, roll off the front, whatever. Get some separation. By the time I got up to him, I think it was party was over. Alright, let's see how it unfolds here. Yeah, this first turn, if you set up wide, which most people do, you can pedal all the way through the turn and kind of free power. So those were, let's see, the 125 wasn't great. So that's Ryan cleaned results. Driving that. There's like Go Fast team. Seemed like they had an endless supply of guys off the front. Maybe they just had 2 really strong guys that kept doing it. I listened to Sharon's commentary and a clip from this race from him. He said, yeah, Velo Kings had 5 to 7 guys in the race. My teammates messaged me. Yeah, and I said, yeah, this was because we worked too much on the front. It probably felt like 5 to 7 of us. It's kind of funny. Anyway. Coming through here. Kind of stayed up near the front too. There's Sharon. Yeah, I think he kind of rolls. Does a little half effort thing here, but I think he just kind of then sits up to see what it's going to look like. Pulls off the side. There's Jerome, Thirsty Bear. Jerome Fidel behind me on the camera. There's one of the Team Go Fast guys again. Driving the front. This guy's raced it hard for sure. Splits here, this side sits up, just like goes. Just roll through it. There's the other Thirsty Bird guy. This guy was he was a strong rider. He and I worked well together. I'm racing with him. There's a little pitch point right there. It just kind of narrows a little bit more as it goes under that arch. Oh, what a fun course. Good turnout. There's a little booth, I thought. Maybe this is one. We'll go with this one. I think I bring the Thirsty Bird guy with me, but it's still together. Just kind of stretched it out. plenty wide enough on the exit. I kind of like to be extreme inside on these corners or extreme outside. I'm like, still not totally fine with having wheels tight to me on both sides in some of these fast corners, but I'm getting better. I'm getting more used to it. It'd be nice to get some road races going. Crits are fun. I would be actually racing in Texas in a couple weeks. Davy Crockett Classic. It's a road race, TT road race, Omni Crockett, Texas, which is like 2 hours from Dallas and 2 hours from Houston. So, looking forward to that in a couple of weeks to get some road racing in. And, it'll be warmer weather. It was supposed to happen in February, I think, and that snowstorm came through and they canceled it, fortunately, before I had flown out. So they just pushed the date out. Rolled registrations over. I was going to race P1 too, but I've got a teammate. It'd be more fun racing, in the Masters category. Definitely have a higher percentage of finishing well. I really like the P1-2 racing, but it's definitely kind of a low percentage to play. We did manage a 5th place in the P1-2 at the Swamp Classic road race in Florida. That was in January or February this year, so that was pretty good for a 46-year-old racing against 20-somethings. But I still got to get my crit skills up. There's Phil Tinsman sitting in front of Kyle here, the Monster Media guy. Super strong rider. I raced with him at the CBR series down in LA last January, kind of the early thing I had down there before COVID shut things down. And maybe that wasn't Phil, maybe that was his teammate. Phil's got the tattoos on his sleeves. I'm not sure who that guy was, but Phil's a strong guy. Coach Jerome's I think it was like 97 guys in that crit in January. Ended up in a 2-man break with Phil Tinsman. We just opened up a gap on the field, and then he attacked me like 1.5 laps to go and soloed him for second into the field. So it wasn't for naught. I was happy with it. So, some super strong riders, a lot of talent down here in SoCal. Sharon's a really good wheel, real competent bike handler. And I think that's that wheel on the wheel. There's Sharon. Coming up on the halfway point here. I'm just set up and recover a little bit. George. We'll kind of file back and recharge a little bit. Hey! Yeah, he goes by her. He says, hey, Mark. It's like, Mark Clifford there, to the left in the front. That's Richard on the inside the rear camera. That's Jorge. That's George Vargas on my wheel. And he rode really good. His fitness is coming up. He hadn't been able to train a ton, but this is just kind of coming into form. And this is one of his better races. Times I was kind of floating too far back and motioned for me to jump on his wheel, and he towed me all the way to the front. Super solid. It's fun seeing guys race well. This guy, I can't remember so that's pretty press. This is John Garbo. Go fast. John raced for both, maybe changed teams. I'm not super knowledgeable on the SoCal field. Met some really good guys over the years racing this stuff, but I don't tend to know half the guys here. But I know enough guys that are strong, and when I see them off the front, I've either been in a break with some of these guys or seen them right away in breaks. So it's hard to stay disciplined when you see what looks like a good formula for it, not to just go with everything. So definitely going to work on the patience side of things a little bit. I was going to cut these race videos down, but I was talking to some of the Team Swift kids, and they're like, hey man, we like your videos, but don't cut them down. We like the full length. And, I think they like the full length videos since they're doing distance learning, and so they can watch race videos while they're supposed to be online in school. There's probably some truth in that, but you know, feel free, obviously, guys, to fast forward through this stuff. I figured if it made it to the GoPro, might as well put it up on the channel. So you can feel like you're going to miss anything if you don't watch the whole thing. But it'll be a good trainer workout videos. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. It's funny, this channel's kind of taken off. I just kind of put stuff up for friends and family, and I don't know if I made it to YouTube algorithm or what happened, but I posted some footage from the P12 video Chowchilla on my channel, and I think this was last Saturday for this race, and man, it's got, I don't know if I'm like 8,000 or 9,000 views on it, but you know, most of my videos, I got a couple, maybe 1,000 videos, but you know, most of my stuff's like a couple hundred views. You know, I'll put up practice races and that kind of stuff, but I'm getting all these new subscribers just kind of popping in, so I thought, well, maybe I'll try to up my game a little bit. Picked up a GoPro for the rear, and I'll probably pick up a new computer, because this is definitely a lot more work than just throwing a front camera up and doing a voiceover. Got a newfound respect for you know, guys that put a lot of time and production quality into their videos. It definitely takes some time. I'm sure you get faster, more efficient at it. You know, faster hardware and equipment helps too, but still, it's free content, but it's not hassle-free, I guess. Yeah, so let me know what you guys think. I'm open to suggestions on this stuff. If you'd rather watch a 10-minute video or watch a 40-minute video and watch the first 5 minutes and the last 5 minutes.
Can't hide.
And something saying, hey Mark, I recognize your bike. Yeah, can't hide with it. It kind of looks like a trout. It's an S-Works SL6, but it's like the yellow to orange to red fade with like purple graphics on it. It's kind of a funky colorway, pretty unique, but it doesn't blend in like the black carbon bikes. George in the middle of the screen going in the front. I think Richard's kind of just been sitting in this race, which is good. Keep it fresh. So if you got the right positioning, kind of with 2 turns to go, it kind of sets you up to a pretty strong finish. Looks like we're probably halfway through the race here, maybe a little more. It's a little overcast, but it's actually a little on the warm side. I'm not fully heat acclimated yet, but definitely was not cold. This was a warm day. The sun kind of poked out in later races. Like I said, I'll post some P12 race video. And I think the skies are a little clear for that one. But, you see the flags there. Might be a pretty bell. Flags are blowing right to left, so I'm trying to kind of stay sheltered on the outside. Find a lane through here at the time. Say hello right there, no one does too. Just have fun. That was Bart. Clifford, he goes there, just running out, and I'm kind of following George's wheel there in front of me, teammate. There's a group up the road here. So. Can't remember, they stayed away for a lap or two. Oh, here's where it's not where I jump across. Man, it sure makes a difference when you're following a wheel trying to bridge up versus just nose in the wind. Easier up here. George flicking me through, and I didn't realize it was me, or maybe taking a little longer, but we kind of sew this one up here, kind of come back together, I think, on that. Just like 2 turns to go. These guys realize they're caught and kind of slow up here. I don't know. That wasn't too bad. There's plenty of room. He could have gone up there, so he probably just had his momentum. He's already slotted through, so he just kind of squirted through that little gap between us there. Wasn't too bad. Yeah, the go fast guys were definitely keeping the race animated. I think I'm going to fall back a little bit here. That's Sean Batman right there. Black catch. He's a good rider. He just knows how to just go with the flow, move up into. We're good. That's a really strong sprint. Spicy. That one's okay. You gotta watch the wheel in front of you. If it moves, you gotta move. Yeah. That's why I don't like being in the back. You see more stuff like this. Yeah. There's definitely good breathers sitting on. Just kind of got a big field. This was about half the size of the P12 field. That was pretty impressive. It's just a lot of surges, a lot of big, 400, 500, 600 watt surges. I moved up from the back of the pack to, this is between turn 1 and 2 here. I'm just looking off positions here to kind of file back in. Corner, I had 11:23 cassette on, which is a lot of fun. Here, just jump a bunch more positions. So it just shows, it's not hard to move up. So, and I'm preaching to the choir. I'm preaching to myself right now. So don't sit on the front all the time. But that was going from kind of last position to the front of the race in 3 turns, and just keeping the power on, smooth, pedaling through corners. Anticipate where it's going to slow up and try to come around on the sheltered side. But yeah, the 11:23 cassette was great because you can, the shifts are just a lot closer together between one gear and the next. It's a great cassette. I like it for crits a lot. I just train with it a lot. 11:23. Then I was running. I have the Hyper 50s, the wind space wheels. carbon bladed spokes, as well as the Hyper 65 millimeter deep depth wheels, and run those tubeless. And I have the 65s on here, so it was a good setup. It was good. I think I'm running 25 millimeter IRC light tires. I don't have a huge tire preference, but the Hypers are a little narrower internal width, and 20. I normally run like 26s or even 28, like S-Works tires on a wider wheel. But I like these 25 IRC lights. Pretty decent tire. Call down another crate. I don't think we sell lap cards till like maybe 3 to go, 4 to go. We have another 15 minutes race, probably 5 laps. It's about a 3-minute lap time. I think 1.3 miles per lap. You can check my Strava to see what the lap time is on the segment. This guy flicks me through, so I kind of search up these guys. Got a little separation here. Very seldom do I ignore an elbow flick. I'm usually a sucker. Okay, I'll pull through. But then I kind of hold off if I flick this guy through. I think it just felt like it was going to come back together, so I towed the field all the way up. And you get some start to separate, and then guys just kind of sit up and come back together. If you look at my rear cam, we have a gap. If we'd have worked this, I don't know, who knows? If these guys are drinking the bottles, they're not ready to work the breakaway. So you just got to get the right combination of guys have the legs to do it and have the motivation. The timing has to be right. And this wasn't one of those times. Sean's pulling us along here, a little uphill. Then we're going to get caught in the next 2 turns. So when it looks like you're going to get caught, it's inevitable. Everyone just kind of sits up anyway. No point in working. You're going to get caught. You don't want to slow down too much because then you get kind of freight train when the field comes through. And, but again, it's pretty easy to move up in this field. So not even a huge consequence there. There's no going. That was the one, I think, that I felt looked good. That might have been the one that Phil Tinsman and is it Sharon in that one? I mean, look at the gap they opened up here. So I come around my Thirsty Bear friend here.
That's the move right there. That's us.
That's the move. That's us. Let's go. Okay. I think I towed him through the first corner, and we start ramping it up here pretty good. Power sound might be off a little bit here, obviously. I'm doing more quads up. Chest down. Yeah, that's probably more like it.
Pedal through.
Just telling him to pedal through this corner.
Pedal through that.
So we lost some movement there. When you're all alone, you can pick your own line. You might as well set it up where you can just pedal through the corners. But he apologized after. He's like, sorry I wasn't able to bring you up to him. I wouldn't have only get half that far without you. So it was all good. But, yeah, he and I worked pretty good. But I think when the field saw us going away, and if we were going to get up to that, it probably motivated everyone behind us to kind of put a little more work in. But I don't know if he was 27, 28 miles an hour this uphill. And I think enough guys are kind of coming through behind. The field's all stretched out, but it's not kind of shattered apart. I kind of pull off and let these guys kind of finish it off. I wasn't worried about it at this point. There's enough guys kind of moving up with some steam.
Sorry.
I could recover a little bit here. Me and the third sprinters, we're pretty lax right here. So fortunately, it's a big field, so we didn't have time to recover as people are coming through instead of getting kind of spit out the back. Yeah, that was a fun little effort. Yeah. So probably maybe 4 laps to go, see if we can catch lap cards next time through. Looks like this Jorge behind me coming up my inside here. This might be where he comes around and gives me back to the front. Get ready for the finish. Got like 10 more minutes on this video, and see how it unfolds. There's Richard, number 111. Richard Gable, teammate, friend, co-founder. And there's George. I think this is maybe where he didn't already. I think he tapped his hop on, so he puts in a good duke here and gets you right back up to the front of the race. It's really cool. Able to just kind of chill here and jump off. And then it surges up a little bit here. I forgot how much. I'm still there. I said, I'm on it. Just motoring up the inside. You know, you get to the front before people set up for the corner. It doesn't cause any static or dive bomb or anything else. But yeah, here, back to the front. I think I kind of came through, pretend like I was going to attack just to get some guys to burn off some fitness, chase me down. There's Byron. He's a good dude. It's just him and I just said save it. We're not. I'm not fresh enough to stay with you, Byron. I'm sorry. I didn't want to waste his fitness on me. Because it's gonna ramp up here anyway. Like I said, I think we're 3-4 laps to go. It's about to take a drink, kind of recover. As you know, it's gonna be pretty painful the last lap and a half. It slows up, so you know the surge is coming. There it goes up the outside. Nice effort, nice job. Yeah, there you go. Go fast, a monster racing guy here. Last turn. Rolling here. Let's see if we get a lap card or the announcer tells us what the Give us in 3 to go. Up a little too soon here. So just trying to get their last drinks in. And some guys moving up the inside here on us. there, you guys drove all the way down. Always brings his dog. Very cool. Richard, George, teammates. Richard, remember again. George in front of me. You guys moving up the outside on us here. It's hard to go chaotic here. There's where Vargas working. Launches that are kind of steep methods to work. So kind of see 2 to go on this lap. It's definitely picking up here. We've all been waiting for the last 2 laps. It really panned out here, but that's just good. But I'm kind of organized to get to this corner. Not pretty far back too. I'm not going to move up here, but definitely taxing on their legs for this kind of stuff. We should just hold the position and stay in the front of the area. It doesn't it's a great stretch. This is where the little mishap happens. A little pile up here. A couple more turns. I think after the next turn. You got Richard. Richard gave on the inside there. Got Bart on my wheel. Kyle gave me the thumbs up to my GoPro there. That was cool. Thanks, Kyle. I think the guy gets a flat, kind of spits it sideways, takes some guys out, takes one of my guys out, watch the right side of the straight here, and then the rear cam right there, boom, boom, big pile up. Kind of shakes your nerves a little bit. You see your teammate, he slapped his back of his head on the ground pretty good. Try to focus back on the race. Stay in it. So this is coming into Bell Lap here. Last turn here. Just kind of sweeps around straight. These are kind of wide open turns out one, that's for sure. As long as you don't get pinched off. So we'll see Bell Lap here. Yeah, I should have moved up. Obviously, being at the back of the pack on a race this size on Bell Lap. It's not that you can't get to the front, but once you do, you're going to have any seconds left and everything. This is where I get a little nerve still. Is field sprint setup or crit like this in the last lap. Just some guys just sit up. You see guys almost moving backwards off the back. I think I set up wide on the outside here. Up on the outside few positions here. Come over the corner. Come back to the inside. spicy here, though. There's just no one really leading this thing or stringing it out, so it's pretty bunched up here. Unfortunately, they got those guys to clear the course here. They went down with 2 to go, which is right in there. This is like 3 turns to go. Getting pretty tight. This is the super sharp one. Just gonna go through there. Guys starting to burn it up. Good spread. There's Bart in front of me. Last corner here. Get pitched off. Got Kyle on my hip here. He puts in a big, strong sprint, comes around me. I think he got 6th in the 35 plus. I ended up getting 6th in the 40 plus. Bart Clifford won the 40 plus, or sorry, Ronnie Chalk won the 40 plus. Apologize. Sharon won the 35. So another good, safe day of racing. Thanks for watching, guys.